Hello, beautiful soul family. Rebecca here, your vibe mentor. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to breeze through life with a smile on their face while others struggle to find happiness? It might be because they have mental and emotional hygiene. Are you aware of this concept? I know it might be kind of new for some of us because, hey, it's new and emerging. So, for those of us who were not taught what emotional hygiene is or how to achieve it, it can seem like the key to life and the key to living a happy life has been a well kept secret. But search no more. I am about to reveal a life changing secret that has the power to transform not only your life, but the whole world. And by the end of this journey, you're not only going to understand what mental and emotional hygiene is, but you're also going to understand how to have it. I'm going to give you the practical steps to a regular habit of emotional hygiene so you can create a life not only worth living, but a life that you love. It is possible. So let's dive in. For what seemed like eons, mental health came with a lot of stigmas. Many of us grew up with that message that feelings were bad or wrong or a problem. Suck it up, buttercup was a common phrase in my childhood. Men were told not to cry, and women were told they were too emotional. People were afraid of catching the feels, right? It's no wonder that we feared going to a place that would expect us to express emotion, especially when we have spent our entire life trying to suppress them. So I'm happy to say things are changing. The world is shifting. Mental health is rising in popularity. Many people are becoming able to recognize it as a necessity that in order to thrive and not just strive, we have to have mental hygiene. And we are also starting to wake up to the fact that trauma suppresses our purpose and it even misdirects our creative and manifestation abilities. Awareness of trauma and the need for somatic healing is growing. Google Trends data shows an increase in searches related to mental health, therapy, counseling, and trauma healing. There is a rise in media coverage, documentaries, magazines, news articles, all related to mental health, trauma, and healing. There's even an expanding body of research and academic studies focused on mental health, trauma healing, and their impact on our overall well-being. We are finally being looked at more holistically. No longer is getting mental health a sign of weakness. In fact, I personally see it as a sign of strength. It takes a real man or a strong woman to be willing to dive into the shadows of the psyche. Trauma is not just something that you can get over because it's not all in your head. In fact, trauma is kind of like old food. Maybe somebody tucked it away in the cupboard because they wanted to get rid of it. And while it might seem like out of sight, out of mind, the reality is the food is rotting and fermenting. And over time, it's going to start to stink. And it's no longer something that you can ignore. Trauma doesn't just go away with time, but it certainly will influence your life in negative ways until we acknowledge and address it. So in essence, we are walking around full of fermented trauma and it stinks, right? It's hanging out in our mental and our emotional bodies. So imagine if we treated our minds the same way we treat our physical bodies. Maybe we gave it the same care and the same amount of attention that we give our physical body. What if our mental care was an essential, just like physical care? Just as we brush our teeth and go to the gym and eat healthy food, emptying out our mental and emotional bodies should be part of our basic hygiene and regular maintenance or care. We must cleanse and nourish our minds and bodies the same way we do our teeth and our hair, right? We often prioritize our physical health, but we tend to neglect our mental well-being. So even if you had a toxic relationship or a troubling childhood and you feel pretty good today, but you're not able to move into the life that you desire, you're not able to move through life the way you would like, you're still in isolation, or you struggle with social anxiety, these are symptoms of unhealed trauma. So what if I told you that mental and emotional hygiene can have a profound impact on your overall health and happiness? It literally can change your life. by changing your personality, your characteristics, and how you show up in the world. It will change how you find and follow your purpose, and it will finally allow you to manifest and create the life of your dreams, make your dreams come true. So if you did not feel safe, seen, heard, cared for, or loved for an extended period of time, I say it all the time for those of you that follow me, then you will know that you likely are dealing with some sort of trauma, PTSD, complex trauma, CPTSD, however you want to label it, it doesn't matter. And if you have not utilized somatic healing therapies like trauma spotting, then you likely have pesky little unhealed traumas fermenting and hiding out in your physical, emotional, and mental body. They're in your subconscious brain, and they are rotting and fermenting just like that food. So we have to ask ourselves, has ignoring unhealed wounds make them go away? How much energy do I spend trying to ignore, or maybe even holding on to, or having to constantly protect against or avoid traumas and triggers? That's a lot of energy, and it's very exhausting for the body. Who would you be if you could regain all of that energy? Who would you be if you moved through life uninhibited? Are you living the life that you want to live? How long will you tolerate a mediocre life? And are you tired of the struggle? We have to hit that point where we say, enough is enough, I'm done. What could happen if you learn to fully leverage your mind, body, and soul mechanism? You would be unstoppable if you gained that full mind, body, soul alignment. Ask yourself, are your limiting beliefs about mental health and trauma healing holding you back? Mental health and emotional hygiene are absolutely a necessity. This is a lifelong process. Just like when someone goes on a diet, they say this is not just a temporary diet, this is a lifestyle. Emotional hygiene needs to be part of our lifestyle. Emotions create our reality. They're the source of our emanation, our frequency, and our vibration. And if we're not keenly aware of exactly what we're experiencing, what we're feeling, what's coming from our subconscious, then we are manifesting on autopilot. And this is why we feel like we are a victim of the past. This is why we keep attracting the same relationships, because there's something within us calling our attention. We tend to draw to us the triggers or the repeat situations to help us see. Life is our mirror to help us see what is still in us needing to be healed. So learning how to release trauma and leverage the natural healing abilities of the body is essential. And that's the beauty of it. The body handles the healing. It's soft and easy once you know how to do it. So if you're going to create a life worth living, we have to have a consistent, lifelong practice of emotional hygiene. So understanding how to identify the subconscious beliefs that drive us and rewire the subconscious to work for us. No longer is it elusive. I know subconscious felt like, yeah, but how do I get into this place that is unseen? It's below consciousness. This is how. The body is the key. So instead of having life feel like it's working against us, we will finally understand how to make life work for us and make our manifestations happen. We are creators, creating all the time. And unfortunately, you are on autopilot from a place of wounding if you have unhealed trauma stored in your body. So how do we do it? I promise you, I'm going to give you the steps. I'm not going to allude to something and leave you hanging. I'm going to walk you through each of the steps. So get a pen and paper, pause the video as you need to. This is how it happens, but just know you can't do it alone, right? It starts with embracing emotion, no longer suppressing emotion. Suppressing your needs is not a superpower. We are not allowed to do this anymore. We have to feel it to heal it. And not just for a moment, but for as long as it takes to shift and move on its own. We want this emotion and this stuck feeling to move through our body all on its own. We have to learn to be present in the body and feel every sensation and know that they are messages. The brain cannot solve this problem. In fact, the brain is what gets in the way, and the body is far more intelligent than the brain. In fact, the brain is often the last to know. So let's make friends with the body. Know that your body loves you very, very much. And she is like a beautiful mother who nurtures your soul, and she holds and rocks you and keeps you safe. The next step is to notice the triggers. What is it that triggers negative emotion in you? Look closely at those triggers and ask why over and over and over until you get to the root cause of what is really causing you to feel that way. Don't let your ego lie to you. Don't let the blame game take away your power. Look for the limiting belief within you that causes that negative feeling. And look for the first time you began to believe that. Recall that younger version of you. When did you first adopt that belief? Right? See that version of yourself in your mind's eye and ask her or him, what do you need? How unfamiliar or foreign does that question feel for you? What do you need? Ask yourself, what do you need? And then meet that need. And it's very important that we talk with someone, maybe a mental health professional, maybe a vibe mentor, maybe a friend that you can trust to keep you safe and to respond in the proper way. But we need support. We are made for connection. We are the mirrors that help each other see what lives in our blind spots. And remember, where two or more are gathered, there I am in their midst. So we amplify source energy together. We cannot do this alone. There are no brownie points for going this alone. We need each other. Let us love on you. Let me love on you. Open to receive. The process of healing is surprisingly easy and simple. So when we know how to do it, then you don't have to struggle anymore. You can move through things very, very quickly. Being stuck in isolation as a hidden seeker for years on end under the guise of healing is not what Source wants for us. The key is you cannot do this alone. If we remain in isolation as the hidden seeker, that's when we stay stuck. We are yearning for something we can't quite put our finger on, searching to quench an unquenchable thirst, pondering for home, but not realizing that home is where the heart is, inside of you. We will remain hidden and never able to shine our light or step into our purpose or continue to believe that anything is possible for us, right? We'll keep living this life that we hate, that we want to escape, working a soul-sucking job, dreading Mondays, and turning to coping mechanisms to tolerate the pain of a life that we are not meant to live. So the choice is yours. Now that you know better, that's the process. It's not difficult. You just can't do it alone. You have to be willing to accept this outreached hand that is asking you to come along, inviting you to step into your purpose, to step into your dream life, to trust the desires of your heart and shine your light the way that you chose to come here to do. So the choice is yours. Now that you know better, will you do better? Who do you want to be? Are you committed to embodying the highest version of yourself? Or are you content with the way things are? Have you come to that place where you've said enough is enough? Because things don't change until you get to that place. Are you ready to step into your purpose? Or are you going to wait until the next lifetime? The choice is yours. So if you're ready to step into a lifelong practice of mental and emotional hygiene, then join us for the Trauma Spotting Certification and More Than Enough Mastermind coming soon, starting in just a couple weeks. It's an 8-week mastermind where you'll learn how to heal and become a healer at the same time. I will teach you trauma spotting. You will learn all about how the body changes and how the brain changes because of trauma. You'll learn about the 8 most common trauma responses and how trauma spotting works. I'll give you all the details. It is a combination of EMDR and brain spotting and energy healing and somatic experiencing. I'll give you all the details on how to do it. You will receive 10 healing sessions, 2 one-on-one with me, and 8 with your practice partner that you will be paired with. The lessons are recorded so that you can watch them at any time that works for you. And you will have that practice partner where you can choose whatever times to get together also work for you. So it's very, very flexible, but the doors are closing soon. We only do this 4 times a year. This will be the last session of the year. And also this week is the last week for the lowest possible monthly payment plan. The prices do increase incrementally as we get closer to doors closing. So check out the link in the description below if you want to know more about trauma or just how you exhibit these trauma responses, how the world is exhibiting these trauma responses. Check out this video here and you will see the list of all of the different trauma responses, and you can determine for yourself whether or not you are experiencing complex trauma. All right. I love you so much, my friends. Thank you for being here with me today. You are a gift to the world. Don't ever forget that. Perfectly imperfect for your purpose, just the way the divine created you. Namaste, my friends. I'll see you on the next video.